Yo, normally I wouldn't do this type of video because it's low effort and normally I put much effort in my videos just to make it a little bit more essay, if you know what I mean. But I figured out that to keep up with the current algorithms with YouTube, I have to spit out some more videos in a shorter time. So I will still do videos in the form of an essay, which take more time but are more informative. But I will also tend to do more of these types of videos where I just comment on a video that just crosses my mind or crosses my eye, and I have to say something about that. And then you would obviously ask yourself, why would I listen to this guy when I have 1,000 other channels that basically do the same? But let's just be honest, I will be more bland and even more insulting if I feel that way. I will not let myself get cancelled or censored in my speech. And a person like this woman that we're about to watch, she deserves every insult thrown her way. She is what we would consider human garbaggio. So, and just for a mention, stop putting your fucking shitty watermarks on videos that don't belong to you. I will censor every single fucking watermark I see. No matter how much garbaggio this woman is, it's her video and you just cut it out, comment on it and put a watermark about it. I will just censor every watermark with this little black box that you can see. You wanna know why? Because everybody that puts watermarks on videos that are referentials, it is used as a source. You do not watermark sources. This is an imbecile move. It is not your video and you put a watermark on that video. That is used as a source. Your comment, you can put your watermark above your comment, whatever, but you cannot put it on a video. What the fuck? Stop that shit. Okay, enough off topic. Let's start.
17 and a half years married, 4 kids. I begged this man, please, I've never been out of the U.S. Can we please go out of the U.S.? I want to experience something new. Can we travel? Can we do something? No. I get a text from him 5 minutes ago. What does it say?
Okay, we are now at the 24th minute mark and she already complains about him not spending money and time to get off of the US. What is obvious about it? She doesn't get any reason for it. I'm pretty sure her man gave her enough reasons like we have no money, we're short on money, I have no time, I have to work. But she just ignores it because it's only me. And if she would actually say in that video that they didn't have enough money at the time, because she will just state that they have 4 kids. So they have 4 kids and she's not working. So he has to get all of the bread for everyone. So I'm figuring out that they're low on money. And obviously that is not enough. She needs the vacation. I have no idea why, because obviously she stated she's not working. I have no idea why she needs a vacation. But she will continue and say she's mad and sad about it, that her ex-husband is not wasting money to bring her out of the US. By the way, she could have just worked or saved at some other point in her life and then had enough money to travel. But yeah, whatever it is, she can only travel with his money, whatever. We will just continue the video.
Hey, I need your permission. It's in the planning, but me and Aaron, his fiance, are taking her kids and he wants to take Kylie to Mexico for spring break. And I said, because he needs my permission to do that. And I said, absolutely, it's a great experience for her. Just please watch her, have fun and be safe. But it's really, really hard for me because it's like 17 and a half years, 4 kids, and I begged you to take us or to take me.
Okay, 55-second mark. Okay, now she's getting mad because he's about to travel with his new fiancée to Mexico. Just think about it, it's 17 years past. So either he got a pay raise and the children grew older so he doesn't have to take care as much. Maybe they even work. And he probably just now has the time and the money to afford it. She could have sticked with him until now and got what she wanted, but she wanted to quit because for some reason women these days think that men can just shit out money because they're a man. Because of the apex fallacy. I'm about to make a video about it also. But just for your information, all women are just viewing the 10%, the top 10% of men and just thinking that every man is like that. They are blind and they do not see the normal worker working their ass off just to live from paycheck to paycheck. They just see CEOs and rich business owners and think every man has money. That is a delusion that many women fall victim to, and she was one of them, thinking that money grows on trees. Because the most interesting fact is that if you earn your own money, you spend it more wisely. If you spend someone else's money on you, you spend it less wisely. But the worst thing is if you spend someone else's money on shit for someone else. That's also why politicians can never use the money wisely. And she was probably one of the third or second category, spending money on shit, and his new fiancée probably uses the money more wisely. That's why they can afford things like that. I will not just state things like that, but she comes off as a woman like that. So let's just continue with the video.
And to do those kinds of trips and to spend that kind of time with us, and it was always no. And now you're giving this woman everything that I begged you for. Everything I begged you for, you are giving to her. People do that because they want to feel heard. They want to know that they're validated for feeling.
Okay, 1 minute and 50 seconds. You can say that she's very immature. She's just crying about why he's spending his money on his new fiancé, but is not reconstructing the situation they were in. If she really was a nice and pleasant person to be with, he would probably find a way to spend a holiday with her. If she wasn't a spendy, sure, he would probably have the money to give it to her. And if she just sticked long enough to him, she would be able to afford, and especially she would be able to afford it with her family. Just know she left her family of 4 kids because they didn't go on a holiday. That's what she said. Basically, she was mad that he doesn't bring enough to the table, even though she doesn't work. So, yeah.
Way that they're feeling that it's not right and it isn't okay. And it confirms my choice to divorce was right. Even though I'm the one that was shamed and I'm the one that lost friends of 15 years.
Okay, we're at 1 minute 13. 1 minute 30. So she just says that her decision to get a divorce, so it was her decision, she just stated it, was the right choice, but for some reason she's the one crying on the couch.
Because they didn't want to be associated with me anymore because I walked away. It's just so hurtful. It's so hurtful.
It is funny how she states that she sacrifices everything she ever built up, friendships and shit like that, even though she was a stay-at-home mom. Man, she can do her quote-unquote work in a pajamas. She's just a lazy bum, but let's just be honest. If she would have worked with him, they would have had enough money to afford it, and he was a stay-at-home mom for 4 kids. Choose to be that, then divorced him because the money was tight, and then complains about losing friendships. So if she didn't have to work, why the fuck doesn't she have time for her friends? That makes no fucking sense. Because of the kids or what? There's at least 1 hour a day where all the kids are busy with something or in school or in kindergarten, whatever. You cannot tell me otherwise.
The person that you love and just you see them.
It is very important to mention that it is egocentrical as fuck, this woman. Every single sentence she started and ends is putting her in a victim role and demonizing her ex-husband that probably worked his ass off to finance this piece of garbaggio.
Give somebody else everything that you ask for. Everything you ask for. And they turn around and give it to somebody else. And maybe it's because he's giving it to her because he realized...
She said give everything she asked for, but she walked away from him, divorcing him and leaving the kids, and she still paints herself as the angel in the situation, saying that she sacrificed everything for this relationship, but she left it. You cannot... What are these mental gymnastics, man? You cannot tell me that this bitch is not having headaches from morning to afternoon, man.
Hey, Mandy left me because I wouldn't give it to her and I wasn't listening to her. I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. But it still doesn't change the fact.
Whoa, man, holy shit, that's an ego trip. She thinks he spends money on the new girlfriend because he feels bad for her. if that would be true, he would have tried his best to get you back. But he realized that you are just a lazy bum, a gold digger, maybe a gold digger, but at least a lazy bum, and you're useless. And he replaced you with a better version that actually puts in more effort, otherwise he wouldn't just spend his money on it. Or he's in a better financial situation where he can afford. So you just had to wait. These bitches from nowadays, they log on social media, look at all the fancy stuff that people are giving, and they just think, hey man, I just have to beg my husband, I just have to beg my boyfriend, and I get this luxury just for free. And then they expect people to just kiss their feet. Meanwhile, they're just sitting on their ass doing nothing. They're not even working to obtain any wealth, so they can afford big luxuries, luxurious hotels or some shit like that. No, they just expect it to be handed to them, and then when they don't get it, they cry.
You're giving her everything I asked you for. You know, talking about self-worth and loving yourself. It's hard not to, when something like this happens, to go, why is she worth doing all of this for, and I'm not?
Okay, she mentions self-worth, but the problem is that most people nowadays don't know the difference between self-worth, self-awareness, and self-confidence. For example, you can be self-confident without having anything, but self-worth is something objective. Either you have some talents, you have money in the bank, you're a good person to talk to. There are just qualities that define you as something that is worthy somebody else's time. And she claims that she has a massive self-worth without even mentioning one example for it. She's not particularly smart, because if she was, she wouldn't upload this video where you can clearly see that it's all her fault. She isn't particularly educated, especially because it seems that she still doesn't have a good job or even a job. And she is an unpleasant person to be with without any talents, because she just speaks about herself and about her feelings and is not very reflective about her surroundings. Other than that, she would just upload a video where she maybe excuses her behavior from before. But no, she's just a grown child. Her self-worth as a person to another person is non-existent. She's just unpleasant to be with, she has nothing intelligent to say, and she's just a waste of time. She's maybe good for a good night fuck, I guess. But let's just be honest, she's not even good looking. So she has not really any self-worth. She can perceive herself as somebody with self-worth, but I doubt that she's doing something that proves this. I doubt that she's like a musician or something like that, you know? Where you can, maybe if you don't have the success like Justin Bieber or some shit like that, but as long as you pursue your dreams, you will always have a very high self-worth as a person. But she just seems to sit on her couch and complain that she threw her life away, and instead of self-reflecting that she threw her life away, she's just pointing to the next person that could be at fault for her shitty life. And this is a shit person. This is a shit person. This is shit.
And why? And I know I shouldn't think that, but you can't help but think that. And then on the other hand, you're like, and why can't I find somebody who wants to give me those things and wants to love me and let me love them too in the same? Like, I'm not just saying give that to me, but like mutual, like I want to give you everything.
Sure. She mentions she can find somebody who gives her that. Her ex-boyfriend, ex-husband doesn't give it to her. Other people doesn't give it to her, and she still thinks other people are at fault. If you run to a bunch of assholes every day for years and years, maybe you are the asshole. You find people and think they're all unpleasant, but in reality you're the unpleasant person. If you never listen to somebody else, why do you expect them to listen to you?
Everything that you want, and I want you to help me get the things that I want. It just feels so unfair. And life isn't fair. And, you know, it's a hard...
Okay, we have exposed another lie. She gave everything that he wanted. That's what she states. But she didn't give anything because she left the relationship. She even left her kids. So I have no idea. What kind of person do you have to be to leave your kids for a simple reason like we're not going on holidays? She didn't mention that he mistreated her. She didn't mention that he cheated on her. She didn't mention anything of that. If he did anything of that, you could bet your left ballsack that she would mention that shit in this video. But because she just described a normal person working their ass off just to have enough food on the table, she has nothing to complain about him except that he didn't spend vast amount of money on her ass. That is the biggest red flag that she could see in him, and that's why she left him and her 4 kids. And she still thinks she's the good one in this scenario. She must be hooked on copium, man. Holy shit, that copium must be fucking nice, man. If she could package that shit up and sell it, she would make billions. Because their level of delusional, if you could sell this to other people, man, you would be a billionaire.
Swallow, but it is what it is.
And so it ends the saga of the woman who was just too lazy to stick 2 or 3 more years to a relationship that was not unhealthy and not really toxic, but maybe not as adventurous, I would say. But she would have gotten it in the end if she just stuck with it. She just had to think 5 meters ahead. If she would have stuck to him, they would probably have more money by now, plus the kids would be out of the house, so they had even more money to spend. But she didn't want, she waited 17 years just to throw it away at the finish line and now complaining about this shit decision that she brought herself to. That's the worst part. Nobody forced her to. If her parents forced her, she would mention that. I'm 1,000,000% sure. I could bet my left ballsack that if somebody or a friend of hers would have snake tongued her to that, she would have mentioned that girlfriend. But she knows that she's at fault. But she still needs to point at the next man. How can she say that he's a bad person when he takes care of his 4 children without abandoning one of them? And he's probably not even taking child support from her. Because for some reason she can afford to just sit on a fat ass and do shit videos like that. For somebody that has to pay child support, you don't have time for that shit. So he's obviously a good person. But he just didn't have enough money at the time. So she left him and now she pays the price. She's single, she will probably die with no children, or no additional children, should I say. And yeah, that's the end of her. But she brought it to herself. And don't make the mistake of feeling pity for somebody who puts himself into a situation. You don't have to feel sorry for them. They had everything they ever wanted and they threw it away because they're too egocentrical. Okay, that's all I had to say about this video. Like I said, soon there will be more videos like this where I just comment on other videos. I mainly do this to just speak and shout out my thoughts about videos I recently watched. I also will make future essay-like videos like the other before with the plastics and other toxins, and also with the traps for men. But I will start to upload more videos that I can just frequently upload just to come into the YouTube algorithm, because I'm doing it for fun, of course, but I also want to reach some people so I can find like-minded people that can understand me and understand my viewpoints, because I know, as someone who consumes this content, I know that there are many people out there who feel left alone with their own thoughts, and it would be nice to find someone who thinks alike so you don't feel like you're the crazy one, if you know what I mean. So comment, like, share, and whatever. I will answer and read every comment, except if they're disrespectful, just insulting, then I will just ignore them. But yeah, feel free to comment, and thank you for watching.